Hey YouTubers, welcome to again another special edition of Morning Coffee with Mike. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm not driving around doing morning coffee in the summers because I'm driving my car and my car is really loud and people can't hear me. So I'm gonna just do it here at the shop until the weather turns and I put my car in storage, and then I'll go ahead and making videos in the car as I drive. It's kind of good because it flows nicely and stuff, and I kind of, kind of feel one-on-one, you know what I'm saying? But I want that one-on-one, we're here for each other, right? We're here in the comments, right? We're here to kind of open up some sort of, yeah. Anyways, guys, tonight, trends in the housing market. Don't forget to set your reminders. Man, the housing market's going haywire all over the planet. Things are not doing well. We know this. We've been talking about this for years. But the amount of vacant properties, the amount of people entrepreneurs that wanted to Airbnb, these huge entrepreneurs, huge opportunity of a lifetime, business people, are starting to hit the wall right now. So tonight on Trends in the Housing Market, set your reminder on the show. Don't forget to check it out. Okay, well, I got an email. It's kind of all over the place. I was going to print it off. It's like 2 pages long, but it's everywhere. Kind of jumping onto different things. I kind of want to keep it on point. Basically, buddy, 67, okay, lives in one of the Canadian major cities, doesn't want to mention the city name, but lives in one of the Canadian major cities, worked all his life, works since 17, built himself from the ground up, is now got his second pension now, and he's getting forced into retirement because of COVID. So he thought he was going to work probably till he died, but now he's being forced out. So here's this other. So he's basically telling me, what do I do, Mike? Do I become a Walmart greeter? What do I do? That's in very low demand right now, Walmart greeters, because there's no high demand for that anymore. Because everyone's a Walmart greeter now that needs to keep on their feet. Or so I'm just throwing that as an idea. Now, basically, he's getting his second work pension, and he's finally getting his first, I think this month or last month, he got his first Canadian pension, pension 2. And he says all of his pensions together is barely enough for him to survive. Now, he goes into discussing his mediocre lifestyle. He drives like a 93 Honda Civic, very menial lifestyle. He actually owns a small 2-bedroom apartment, not a condo. He says it's kind of like one of those leaky apartments that he bought in the very early 2000s. He's had it for 18, 19 years, and he lives alone. His wife passed away when he was like 50. And he's having a really tough time making ends meet, even though he owns his place. He says he has 30,000 or 40,000 left on his mortgage. It's not much, but his mortgage payment, he's refinanced it several times, and I think what's gotten him is the closing fees, document fee, this fee, lawyer, all that crap. That stuff adds up, and that's how the banks get you for commissions and stuff. So basically, it's not much, but his problem is he doesn't have a car payment. He doesn't have any credit cards. His problem is he really can't make ends meet. So a lot of people are looking at the boomers and blaming them. He cannot make ends meet with a very menial lifestyle. He's like, what do I do? Sell my place, make a little bit of chunk of change, and then what? And then when I'm done eating off what I made off my little 2-bedroom leaky apartment, not condo, so what? Then I have to eat off that for what? I get another 5 years? What if I live to be 75? Then what happens? I can't afford old age. And that's what triggers a lot of homeless people, a lot of homeless vets. They make money, they have pensions. A lot of these people do have pensions. But if you're in the state of California, because it's all foreign invested buyout, it actually leaves less on the market for the locals to live, right? And foreign investors do not like renting their properties out, right? It got so bad in France that they had to put like a 60% tax on vacant properties, and that fixed the problem almost overnight. The French government said, we're done with this foreign investing crap. Because it left Paris into an empty shell. Literally into an empty shell. Now things have changed, but I'm saying this was a few years back. But now The older people that actually invested into the infrastructure that helped build what we have today, our roads, our hospitals, our schools, are the ones getting shafted. So a lot of people pointing at the boomers and saying it's all their fault. A lot of them did buy, yes, at the right time, but a lot of them have gotten shafted over the years, right? Whether they're going to fix their car, they get charged an extra 2-3 grand. Remember, guys, in Canada, it's a little bit different than America. You go fix your car, they do it for $85, $200 for like a semi-major issue. In Canada, a couple of grand. You want? I had a lady come in the other day, said she had to fix, her brother has to fix the chimney on his house. He had to fix the chimney and this and that and do some work. Oh, it's $1,500 to do this, then it's $2,000 to do this, it's $4,000 to do this. When it's all said and done, it's going to cost him $23,000 to stop to fix a leaky chimney. 23 grand. You could buy 25 acres of land in Georgia for that much money. And in return in Canada, you fix a leaky. So this is So he's telling me, basically emails me, Mike, what do I do? Do I go to the U.S.? How do I go to the U.S.? The thing is, if you're in retirement, okay? If you're retired, you're fully retired, and you could prove there's a way to do it by when you get to the, like, I don't know if they do this anymore, so you have to research this, where you get to the crossing border guards and asking them and saying, hey, I'm fully retired. I want to do my 6 months in, and because you could do 6 months and then you have to leave the country. So you come back, visit family for 2 weeks, and then go back for 6 months. That's what a lot of Canadians have been doing. They're snowbirds, and there's a lot of Canadians that have been doing that have a tax ID number. People in their 30s, 40s, and 50s that have some sort of weird tax ID number, and then kind of do their taxes in the States and still do the taxes again. It's weird. So, but I don't know. There's more and more Canadians pushing towards, like, the only way is to get pushed out of your own country. So he's saying with his pension, I looked at what he made, and he's just under $2,000 a month. But when you look at the price of food, the cost of operating, the cost of insurance, what he pays for car insurance in the years he's been driving, he's paying like $300 a month for car insurance. I'm like, that's what's getting you right there. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have any health issues. He's in pretty good shape. He's not obese, and so this email just goes everywhere. So he can't afford to basically retire in Canada, and he's not sure what he could do. No one's hiring right now. He's getting pushed out of his job because of COVID. So he's looking at this. So a lot of people, again, are looking at the States. And this brings this profound feeling I have. Are they doing this COVID? Are they closing borders? Are they making Trump look like a huge enemy of the world? So basically Canada can have its ways with its borders and manipulate its own people into really what's happening? That could be the case. That could wholeheartedly be the case. So what do we do? Well, people need to start planning an exit strategy. I have a friend, and I brought this up on Trends in the Housing Market many times, who basically works at the Toronto Pearson International Airport. He worked there for many years. I don't know if he's still there now with COVID, but he told me basically he takes tallies throughout the airports, who's coming in, who's coming out, and stuff like that. More and more Europeans per year, like 30,000 to 50,000 Europeans are leaving back to Europe. And we're talking about Europeans that originally immigrated to Canada from Greece, Portugal, Spain, Ireland, wherever. They're all moving back to Europe in huge numbers. Because they're like, if I'm not going to get anything here, or if I'm not going to find a way to expand here, we're just going to... We have no way to grow financially and build a future for our kids. We're going back to Europe and stay poor and be happy. Like Mexico. When I was 2 years in Mexico, I learned something in Mexico. People have God, family. They have this meeting up with each other all the time and having lunch and having... Oh, we do that in Canada. No, in Canada it's more of a corporate thing. Where people are setting themselves up for the day because they have... No, in Mexico it's more of go with the flow, have fun, word of mouth, make plans, blah, blah, blah. Fortunately, fortunately for the Mexicans, it's good in a way because it keeps value family strong, and it keeps people close to home, and it keeps people united. But in Canada, it's a little bit different with that. So he basically said that under $2,000 a month, and his strata fee has gone up to $550 a month from he used to pay $98 a month in 2000 or 2001 when he bought his property. It's over $550 a month. And they keep saying, because of the cost, he gets the letter he says every 2 years, because of the cost and set to inflation, the cost is going up, and the cost of maintaining this 100-year-old building is going to cost us more and more and more. But here's the deal. His wages haven't gone up to inflation. That's the problem. If your wages have gone up to the cost of living, everybody would be making a six-figure income. Minimum wage would be $50 an hour, because then you'll afford your one-bedroom apartment rental and food and living a decent lifestyle. Maybe have a little scooter or something. But that's not the case. So, affording to live to retire in Canada. So, he could continue receiving his pensions unless Canada pulls that move that if you don't live in Canada, you won't get a pension anymore, period. We don't care where you are. So if you're in Canada, you'll get your pension and spend your pension money here. That's what I'm afraid of. They've talked about that a few times, because too many people, like there's millions, there's like about 34 million Canadians since 1974 living in the United States. 34 million. So when you take out the socialized medicine that we get and this and that and all the other things, and you're kind of juggling it around in your mind, like what is fair, what is... I don't know, guys, to be honest with you. Can you afford to retire in Canada? That's my question to you this morning, Morning Coffee with Mike. Can you afford to retire in your own country? If you're living in Australia, can you afford to retire in Australia? Are the pensions good enough for you to kind of get by? Because this guy lives a very menial life. He even told me how much he has in his bank. He told me, like, he's really worried. Like, you know what he's worried about? Living too long. He's worried about living a long, fruitful life. Imagine, 100 years ago, people worried about living too long because they couldn't afford to maintain. And that's why family needs to be close. This guy probably has a brother somewhere in Yuma, or he probably has a sister somewhere out in Edinburgh, or he's got a cousin out somewhere in Sydney. If family stays together, family dies together. Family aligns together. Blood is thicker than water, guys. Let me know what you guys think. I love you guys so much, and I really want you guys to make sure that you guys understand. Don't forget to set your reminders tonight for trends in the housing market so we can discuss this. Share this video, because none of my videos get out there. And we'll talk later in the comments there live on trends in the housing market, and I'll be reading your comments here. Thanks for watching. Big hug, everybody.